Lyndon Arthur is back, ready to stake a claim for a shot at world glory when he takes on Argentina's Walter Gabriel Shechiera. Part of a huge night of action on Saturday, September the 17th. It's live and free on Channel 5.
Oscar Bevis, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Wood-Lara here at York Hall. Ben Davison joins me. Ben, congratulations to you and the team. We keep being told how good Royston is, and tonight we've just seen another little glimpse of how good he is.
Yeah, it's a process, isn't it? You know, like people get so hyped up on these knockouts. Great stoppage, but the main focus is development. As long as he's working on things that we're focused on developing with Royston, and he's progressing and progressing in those areas that we're working on, then we're happy. And tonight's a great knockout, but there'll be some performances that don't end in a knockout. We know he can punch. It's not something we're worried about. You've seen glimpses of it there, but that's just a small piece of the puzzle. So it's a development process. He's 18 years old, still a baby, but bundles of potential, and the development is the main focus.
I was going to say, being 18, sometimes when fighters do start that young, stoppages don't come quickly. So is it nice to just have the clarification? Obviously, you work with him, so you know he can punch. But is it nice to just have the clarification that, yeah, even though he's young and he will get stronger, he can punch now?
The thing is that, like, obviously now people go, brilliant. And then, like I say, he'll have a fight that people would expect him to stop, and he might not stop, and then people will question it again. It's just part and parcel of the development process of a fighter in today's age, where everybody can have an opinion. So, that's not the focus for us. The focus is, like I say, progressing in the areas that we're focused on, and that's what we're seeing.
Right, picking this back up with Ben Davison. Ben, I think my last question was, how much can he learn from a night like tonight? Because he'll have fights where he goes 6 rounds, 8 rounds, whatever. But I suppose you could look at it and say, how much does he learn from that small amount of time in the ring, in a way?
Yeah, it's the experience. It's the experience of a training camp. I'll be honest. There was moments with Royston where, he's young and focus might not be exactly where it needs to be, and he needs a bit of redirecting, put right back on the right tracks, and that's happened. There's been moments that we've tested his character and those kind of things, and he's come through, and I would say that he's grown in maturity in his boxing and in his personal life, and I think that has shown in his preparation for this fight, and I think that's shown in the fight. How much will he take away from it? It's just experience. He's young. What he can take from that is it's all valuable. It's all valuable experience, but the most important thing, as I say, is the progression and development, and that happens mostly in the gym.
I'm really looking forward to seeing Royston's career going forward, and I know a lot of people watching tonight will think the same. Quick one on Lee Wood. Obviously, we saw his statement, pulls out of the fight next week in his hometown, Nottingham, with injury. Just kind of, obviously, disappointment first off for you and the team, because a fight that everyone was really looking forward to.
Yeah, cool. So obviously, we was gutted. There was a tear in the bicep, and he was advised not to basically use it for the next few weeks. He was like, you can't not spar or punch for the next 2 to 3 weeks for the build-up into that fight. So we had to make a decision to pull Lee out. Obviously, Lee was gutted, but we'll look to reschedule it. We'll talk with Matchroom. He's in the process of recovering at the moment, and we'll look to go again.
It's weird because I know you would have seen it as well. There's been kind of a bit of backlash of whether Lee should take this fight or not. It seems to have come now that Lee's pulled out with injury. Are you kind of bemused in a sense, because people want people to take hard fights? He voluntarily takes a hard fight for his world title.
Who's saying that he shouldn't take the fight?
I've seen response online. I'm not going to name anyone specifically, but I presumed you would have seen it. I'm not sure.
No, look, we don't pay attention to other people. People said that Lee boxing can do. We walked into fight camp for Lee Wood to box can do, and people were almost saying, thanks for coming. Lee become world champion. If he didn't take that challenge and that hard fight in that moment, he wouldn't be world champion. People said Mick Conlan was supposed to be the favourite. We know how that went. So, of course, you have to take these hard fights. It's part of boxing at the highest level. Of course, there's massive financial gain. He's earning phenomenal money for the fight. Otherwise, he wouldn't be fighting Lara. and it's, but unfortunately the situation was what it was with Leo Santa Cruz. It's a fight that's, you know, it obviously sold out. So it was a fight that everybody wanted to see, as you just said there. And it's a fight that we're confident in, very confident in. So it makes sense for us, you know. Everybody.
Will it just make it feel even sweeter when Lee eventually does fight Mauricio and puts in that performance?
You know what it is, mate? The people who've got these opinions, like, what is their opinion worth? Well, I've seen Jamie Conlon making a couple of comments. Jamie Conlon, his business advice, they thought they was picking up an easy world title. He had to pick his brother up off the floor. So I wouldn't listen to him, would you? Everyone's got an opinion. Lee's in a position now where the Mick Conlon fight is a backup net for him. It's always a lucrative fight, title or no title. If Mick goes and fights Navarrete and wins a world title, massive fight. Becomes a different ballgame. But Lee's in that final stage of his career where he wants challenging fights to take him in the right direction, that make financial sense. Lara, Warrington, Santa Cruz, they're the type of fights. He doesn't want to be going over old ground at this point in his career.
Spot on. One thing, we spoke about it to death before, but it's come back round. The Fury-Joshua negotiations, do you find it weird how there's been all this talk for years and it hasn't happened, and in the space of a couple of weeks it looks like we're on the cusp of it? Do you find that kind of just mental? It's very boxing, isn't it, for that to happen?
Exactly, it's very boxing. So, you know, look, hopefully we get to see it, and I'll be over the moon to see it. It will still be probably the biggest grossing fight in British boxing history. So,
brilliant, Ben, top man. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, I put my dad in the street against a heavyweight.
I've gone back to the dad. I've punched him a few more
There's 5
times.
blokes outside my front door. Can you come and help
One
me?
hell of a fucking story, so stay tuned.